Hello all, welcome to TipTop C Sharp tutorial series. Today we'll be looking at one of the basic pillars of object-oriented programming. The concept in all languages remains same, but only the implementation differs from language to language. Let's try to understand polymorphism from C Sharp.NET perspective. So today's agenda will be, first we'll look at different type of polymorphism. One is static polymorphism, another one is dynamic polymorphism, and at the end few tips and tricks to remember. What is polymorphism? As the name suggests, polymorphism is the condition of occurring in several different forms. The same behavior or with the same name, different behavior can coexist. That's what is polymorphism. And from definition, .NET supports two type of polymorphism. One is static polymorphism, is achieved by method overloading, and second one is dynamic polymorphism, which is achieved by method overriding. Let's try to understand each of these in detail. Static polymorphism, as you already know, static polymorphism is achieved using method overloading. You can define two methods with the same name, but signature of the method will change. So what is signature of the method? So it may be different number of parameters. Both the methods can have same name like add, and the number of parameters may increase or may decrease. Or different type of parameter. For one method you are passing as float, the another method you are passing as int, and if both the method parameters and everything matches, but only if return type differs, this does not qualify for method overloading. So let's flip to Visual Studio to understand more. So I'll define a class. Just try to define some methods. Void add. So if you see, I can have int I and int j, and I don't want to do anything. I will just type console write line, and I'll have I plus space and j. So and then I I want to return something, so I'll return I plus j. So now if I want to create another method with the same name where the behavior is also same, I can do it, where I'll have the same name but I'll have different number of variables. Okay. So now if you see, both the methods are having same name, public int add, but C sharp will be able to identify which method to call by using the number of parameter. Or it can so differ that I can have another method with float, and so now you can see that the signature completely differs. Number of parameter remains same, but you can see that I'm calling different method. So I will just write something. Now I'll create object of this class. See, now you can see that I have three. One is where I pass int and float, int and int, and then int and int and int. So now First I want to call with 10 comma 10. Let's execute and see what will happen when I call all this. Now if you see the output carefully, first method 1 is called because I am passing both int and int. Second, method 2 is getting called because I am passing int and float. Third, another method is getting called, that is method 3, where I am passing different number of variables. Yeah, coming back to PPT, moving on. Yeah, so either we can have different number of parameters where you have two parameters at the first and second one is having uh, higher or lesser number of parameters, and it can have different type of parameters. As you can see in the first method we are having both as integer, second one we are having integer and float. So the other one is where the return type is different, but whereas the number of parameters and type of parameter remains same. Now this one does not qualify for method overloading and it throws an build error. Moving on. So let's try to understand static polymorphism in few words. That is, method name is same, but number of variables are different. Method name is same, but type of variables are different. Return type, as I already specified, return type or different return type does not qualify for the method overloading. In method overloading, one method can be at base class, another method can be at derived class. That should not be a problem. It's not that all the methods should be in the same class. Method overloading can be applied to constructor as well. What this means is you can have multiple constructor where you can have a constructor which does not accept anything, or you can have multiple constructor which accepts different type of parameters. Yeah, that should cover most of the static polymorphism. Now we'll try to cover another type of polymorphism, that is dynamic polymorphism. To understand dynamic polymorphism, we need to understand three main keywords. One is virtual, another one is override, third one is sealed. To understand all these things, let's flip to Visual Studio. So I will create base class first, that is my base class, and I'll rename this to derived class. I will try to define a where I want to return int and I want to add two numbers, I and int j, to return I plus j. Now I will type that base method is getting called, just that should be sufficient. So there may be a possibility that base class provides a behavior and child class want to override or have an unique behavior or want to have an added functionality for the same method. In that case, base class has to specify it as virtual, where it provides a provision for derived classes to override it. Imagine my derived class is deriving from my base class, and I'll just copy paste the method over here. Imagine the derived class wants to add 10 and we have to specify override. Now this is what is dynamic polymorphism, where base class provides a functionality. Now my derived class have to have its own functionality, or It can even call base dot add by passing same variables as well, where here I am achieving the functionality, and as well as I am able to provide my own functionality. It's up to us. So let's create an object, my base class, and new object. Let's try to create new object, my base class. I'll create both instances, and my base class obj1 I will give it as my derived class. So I'm creating two objects here. I'll make it as base obj derived obj. Now let's call both the methods. Add, if I pass 10 comma 10, if I do 20 comma 20, if I execute this one, now you can see that the first line that is getting executed is base method is getting called and derived method is being called. If you observe carefully, you can see that both the method signature are same. Now if you see it, both the methods are having same method name, where add, integer, and both the variables are integers. Base is providing an opportunity to override it, and derived class is overriding it. There is another third keyword which you need to understand. Another one is sealed. So my derived, I will have, imagine it is deriving from derived class. If a base class does not want a derived class to override this one, so everybody can have an own behavior. Now imagine my derived class decides that nobody should override from this one, then it can have sealed. Now if you see public override, I don't see my add method over here because it is marked as sealed. If I remove sealed, then if I type override, then I can see add method. So I need to understand three keywords mainly. First is virtual, where base class gives an option for derived class to override. If derived class wants to override, it's not compulsory to override. If it wants to override, then it has to use with override keyword. In case if at certain point of time a derived class decides that nobody should override this one, then we have to go for sealed keyword, where after this nobody else will be able to override the functionality. Let's flip to PPT. As I have seen already, so the base class has to define a method with virtual keyword, whereas derived class has to override the existing method with overridden keyword. Let's try to summarize whatever we have already understood. In C#, .NET, virtual keyword is must for the methods which may be overridden by derived class. If you are not specifying virtual keyword for the methods, then base class will not be able to override this one. If method is not marked as virtual in the base class, derived class cannot override that one. C#, .NET decides whether to call base method or derived method at the time of runtime or while executing specific line of code. That's why it is called as dynamic polymorphism. Sealed keyword, as we already understood the importance of sealed keyword, by specifying sealed keyword, user will specify that now you cannot override this one. Now we have understood dynamic polymorphism and static polymorphism. Let's try to understand one more behavior, that is method hiding. how do I need to override a method, or I need to have my own unique implementation where the base class does not provide virtual keyword. Now, if I'm having something like this, where you can see that now my base class does not provide virtual keyword. So if I use override, it will be an error because there is no virtual method. But instead what I can do is I can have new keyword which makes sure that I am having my own implementation of the class. This is called as method hiding, where it is not deriving from some other method, and it's not like you're extending the behavior. By specifying the new keyword, you're starting your own method, or it's like defining a new method. You just want to use this name just because it's make more sense for the behavior. Let's try to execute the same code. Just understand that I have just removed virtual and override keyword. Now if I execute, both the time method from the base is getting called because base class or the C# .NET structure does not know that a derived class is overriding, because we are using new keyword which does not tell that this method and this method are same. Now if you see, everything is getting called from base because we are using base pointer for pointing a class. Instead, if I use derived class, now if you see, I'm able to achieve my unique behavior for each of the class. This is what is method hiding. If you use new keyword for the methods which does not provide virtual and you want to achieve your own behavior, then you can use new keyword. There are method hiding, and as I already showed you in Visual Studio, method hiding, if you see, there is no virtual and the new keyword is introduced over here. Let's try to summarize method hiding. If class does not provide virtual methods, you can change behavior using new keyword. This is mixture of static and dynamic polymorphism. Not a recommended solution if you want quick fix where you are waiting for somebody to change everything and you are waiting for it, then only you can go for it, but still not recommended. Need to use only when left with no other option. Kind of a workaround or a quick fix. So now we are done with method hiding as well. Now let's try to understand some tricky parts or tricks to remember. Method overloading provides a same behavior with different set of inputs. To understand method overloading in line, method overloading is providing same behavior with different set of inputs. Virtual and override provides an option to derived class to extend the behavior or have an unique behavior. Overriding virtual methods is not mandatory. If a base class specifies some methods as virtual, it's not compulsory that you will be overriding all the methods. It's up to the derived class to override some of the behavior and to not. Never call a virtual method in the constructor, because if you are calling it at the base class where you are calling a virtual method, if a derived class is overriding behavior, by the time the constructor is getting called, derived class is completely not constructed. So it ends up calling the method of a base class, which will confuse you at the end why there are some bugs and all those things. So again at the end you have to remove it. So better not to call virtual methods in the constructor. That's it. That should cover most part of the polymorphism. Let me know if I have missed any of the points. Thank you.